Hello guys, Ghoul got you here bringing you another Black Ops 3 gameplay. Today I'm playing a bit of Arena, which is 4v4 competitive with my friend Marv. This is Search and Destroy, which I've mentioned and made a video on previously. You can go check that out. Basically, first to 6 rounds, you only get 1 life a round. So it means that when you die, you have to just sit there and watch your other teammates try and win the round or lose the round, which can be very frustrating, but it can also be rewarding because you can be left in situations where there's you against 4 and you take down all 4 and defuse the bomb, and you make a heroic clutch play and you feel like a hero. But what I want to talk about today is Infinity Ward's news. Now, Infinity Ward is a production company that makes Call of Duty, and Call of Duty is on a 3-year cycle. So it starts with Sledgehammer, then it's Treyarch, which we're at the moment with Treyarch with Black Ops 3, and then we go to Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward are the people that brought you the original Call of Duty 2. They also brought you Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, the next title is going to be called Infinite Warfare, but that's not what we're going to focus on. What we're going to focus on is the good news. And the good news is that if you pre-order the Legacy Edition, which is 109 Canadian dollars, because this photo is actually a leak, and it was a Canadian leak from a Canadian shop, which is about $80 US, which would be about 65 pounds. Now, the good news you might have seen from that previous screenshot is that if you order the Legacy Edition, you actually get remastered Modern Warfare Call of Duty 4. Now, this for me is huge. It's because Call of Duty 4 or Modern Warfare was fairly instrumental, and it was during a very instrumental time in my life, and more so a very poignant year which will stay with me forever, and that's not because of Call of Duty, but what they're going to be doing is there's going to be 10 multiplayer maps, there's going to be the full campaign, and in all honesty, it is the greatest Call of Duty campaign. It has some of the best missions there is, all gillied up, sneaking around Chernobyl with a silent sniper rifle. Everyone knows that mission, everyone remembers that mission. I went to Chernobyl because of that mission, but they're remastering it in HD for next gen with, I hear, dedicated servers. And what dedicated servers are is certain servers put around, might be one in London, there might be one in Cardiff, might be one in Scotland, there's one in America, west side, east side, in the middle, so on and so forth. But these dedicated servers are kind of local places that you should connect to, rather than the original Modern Warfare. You would connect to each other. So I could connect to someone across the world in America, and I'd be on a red bar, they'd be on a green bar, they've got better connection, they're going to destroy me. Or the old Modern Warfare was really about host. If you're host, it means you're hosting the lobby. If you're host, you're the god. You literally are. I remember back in the day, whenever you press select, if you flick to 1 bar and then back up to 4, you were host. And you knew you were host. And that meant you could just destroy people. You get your M16 out, one burst everyone, literally one trigger pull, they're dead. Now, COD 4 was the original. It was the original Call of Duty Online that had a massive presence. Now, Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty 2 was massive, Call of Duty 3 was a bit of a failure. But Call of Duty 2 was huge online. I didn't personally play it. I didn't have the ability to get online during Call of Duty 2. I had it, but I never played online. But it was Modern Warfare where things changed. Like, actually, just coming back to Black Ops 3, pay attention to this snipe here. I absolutely blame this kid, and I'll play it back for you in slow-mo, because I get the 180 turn, flick on and headshot, jump down, carry on. And unfortunately, I don't get the 1v3, but I choked on the last kill. You'll see it coming up. He one-burst me with an M8. I couldn't do much. He literally had one trigger pull. I destroyed this guy too, but come around this corner and flying. I'm confident my shot's on. See the guy. Pretty sure he's dead. No, one-bursted. One burst me, I'm dead. But anyway, moving back to COD 4, the penny literally dropped and everyone was playing this game. The game was so smooth. At the time, it looked really, really good. And if you look up in the top right corner, you'll see some before and afters of what the game looked like and what it now is going to look like remastered. And these are only screenshots, but that's exactly what it looks like. And it looks really good, really impressive. I can't wait. And now all I worry about are the movement, because Black Ops 3 is a good game. Black Ops 3 is a game that I really enjoy, but I personally feel like I want to go back to boots on the ground. What that means is none of this boosting, none of this sliding, realism. Soldiers at the moment aren't boosting around like maniacs, that they're running. That's what I want back. And it looks like Infinity Ward is 50-50 at the moment. These reveal trailers that come out, they're very specific, they're very niche, and they really don't give much away. They try and keep it as closed-ended as possible. They want to do the Game of Thrones premise and ask more questions than they answer. But the big news is that COD 4 is coming, so that if Infinite Warfare is, for example, got this new movement system, which the chances are pretty high, because game developers, any corporation don't like to go back on themselves. They like to move forward. They like to keep progressing, keep being innovative. And whether people like that or not, that's how it is. They're always going to strive to be innovative because no one likes to take 2 steps back. And going back to boots on ground, as much as I don't agree with it, that's taking 2 steps back. But what they've done now is actually a very, very intelligent market employ. They've given the fans what they want. Modern Warfare 1 is the favourite Call of Duty. It is the Don. It is the original, the OG, the original gangster of Call of Duty. And it's not only me excited, it's a lot of people who didn't get to play it. Now, this game came out in 2007. And for me, ironically, 2007 doesn't feel that long ago. I'm 29 years old. But a lot of Call of Duty fan base, a lot of COD fan base, a lot of Call of Duty fan base, a lot of gaming fan base, and certainly the YouTube gaming sphere is a much younger demographic than me. The 29-year-olds and above are far fewer than the 25-year-olds and below, and more so the 21-year-olds and below. So there's some of these people that haven't played Call of Duty 4 or never played Call of Duty 4 when it was new and fresh, because we're talking 8-9 years ago, and some of these people who are watching YouTube and making comments on that are 8 or 9 years old. They've never done it. It's crazy to me, but that's the case. And what this is going to do is just kind of revitalise that game. It also gives people like me who are very unsure of the new movement system, the new game, the futurism. It's going to be in space and all that sort of malarkey. I don't like Star Wars. I don't really like sci-fi. So for me, the whole space thing's a bit of a dead weight to me, but this is my personal opinion. Some people love space. Fair enough. You're probably going to love the game. But for me, COD 4 is probably what I'm going to be playing next year. I can't wait for it. It has a lot of significant things for me, Call of Duty 4. And this is really where I want to touch upon. It was made in 2007. 2007 is the same year I lost my mum, and it's a very defining year in my life, and anyone who's been through the same will tell you it defines your life to lose someone at that age who you're that close to, especially suddenly. And now what happened was, I was on compassionate leave, and for anyone who doesn't know what that is, if you have a really close death in the family, you're legally allowed some time off to try and gather your thoughts and whatnot. And bear in mind, I was a 20-year-old lad who just lost his mum, and I was working at B&Q at the time. And for anyone who isn't in the UK, B&Q is just a big hardware store, just like Home Depot in America. But anyway, I was on compassionate leave from B&Q, which was a job I despised anyway. It was a job that at my sort of level, the lowest level, the people were great. They're all young people, all want to have a good time. But the higher-ups were the biggest arseholes in the world. They really were. Like, for example, let me just deviate from my original story for a second. After my mum died, I actually lost my nan about 2 or 3 months after. I know, crazy. I actually lost my grandma about a year after that as well. But for my nan, B&Q actually refused me compassionately. They said I've had too much in a year because I'd lost too many people. And just a quick shout-out to the arseholes at the higher-up at B&Q. You treat people like that, and no one's ever going to want to work for you. I try and spread as much hatred towards your company as possible, because it really is disgusting to do it to a 20-year-old who was really struggling. You know, I'm lucky I had good friends and good family, otherwise who knows what I would have done, where I would have ended up. And the irony is, the bloke who refused it, the general manager or line manager, I can't even remember who this bitch was, but his name was Simon Phillips. Anyone who watches my videos who I worked with at B&Q, you'll remember Simon Phillips. He was the big dude, the real bastard. But the irony is, at the Christmas do, because he was head of warehouse, and at the time I was working in the warehouse with the forklifts and whatnot, he got so drunk, and this was like a 45, 50-year-old bloke, around 20-year-olds who he works for, and a couple of, older people, supervisors and whatnot. He got so drunk, he pissed his pants in front of everyone. No word of a lie. We got sworn to secrecy with them threatening our job, saying that if this comes out, you'll be fired. And this was the Christmas before my mum died, so it happened before, so it wasn't like he gave me any leeway or anything. You'd think after keeping his dirty little secret up until literally now, he would give me some slack. But at least now the world's been told that you pissed yourself in front of all your staff, all your subordinates, which was brilliant. And the fact you kept a secrecy really was almost criminal. But anyway, I digress. Back to Call of Duty 4. I was on compassionate leave. My dad was off, my sister was off, and in a time like that, apart from having to arrange funerals and literally call people and tell people, which is one of the hardest things about the whole situation, is really trying to do that. you don't really know what to do with yourself. You watch TV and you can't concentrate. I remember waking up the morning after my mum died, and it was such an odd thing to try and explain to someone how I felt. It literally was one of those moments like, was that all a dream? Did that happen? It was one of the moments. It was such a mind-bending thing to happen. You know, it changed everything. But for those first few weeks, it was really hard to relate to anyone other than my family. So I pretty much introverted myself and just kind of played computer games. But even that was boring because I'd played all my games. I had a PS2 at the time. That was old tech. Xbox 360 had come out, and at the time, a friend of mine, Jimmy, who was a really good dude at B&Q, he was banging on about the Xbox 360, and for some reason, I didn't want Xbox. At the time, Microsoft making a computer console, no, I'll stick with Sony, thank you very much, they got experience. By the way, I saw a really good deal, and I can't remember how much it was now, but it was a good deal. Grabbed the console with a few games, was enjoying it, and then this was summertime. Then the new trailer for Call of Duty came out, which the previous 3 Call of Duties I've been playing on PS2. Modern Warfare. The trailer came out and it was like a movie. At the time, things like Gears of War, Modern Warfare, they were having these huge cinematic trailers where they really got directors in, they edited it well, they had good scripts, good music, really good pace, good timing, and they were so effective. I couldn't wait for that game to come out. Me and my friend Fonzie at the time were so excited for Modern Warfare. And when it came out for me, I loved it, absolutely loved it, played the hell out of the campaign. But I didn't have a Wi-Fi receiver on my 360 to be able to play online. That's something that my brother-in-law, God love him, bought me for, it would have been that Christmas, I think. So I had the Xbox for about 2 or 3 months without being able to get online. And he bought me this, and it was game-changing. Before that, I was sceptical. I was thinking, why do I want to play online with people? That's just stupidness. Once I started playing online with my original gamer tag, which was Retreat232, which was my old address, I didn't know you had to pay to change a thing. I wanted to get on as soon as possible. Classic, Goyle, impatient, trying to get things done as quick as possible so I can start playing, and I had a really rubbish name. But anyway, the first game I obviously tried online was Modern Warfare. I almost remember it like it was yesterday. The first map I loaded into, I was on Block. I believe I was using the M4, and it was one of the creator classes. Whenever you start a Call of Duty game and you're not ranked, you get classes which you can't edit. They're just basic classes that they give you. You can't customize it at all. So I was using the M4, which is fully automatic assault rifle. I remember getting my first kill. I don't remember what I went, but I did all right, and I loved it. Instantly loved it. I loved the escapism it gave me, and escapism is something I really want to talk about, and I'm not really sure if people understand true escapism. As a kid growing up with an alcoholic, there was a lot of arguments in my house, a lot of shouting, a lot of confusion, and an awful lot of things going on at any one time. And for me, movies were escapism. Television was escapism. People at school said, oh, he watches so much TV and that. Well, if you live my life, you'd understand why. It's because I needed to escape. If you've never needed to escape, you simply don't understand escapism. People who say, oh, I watch a movie to get into it, to have escapism. No, that's not escapism. Escapism is you trying your hardest to ignore what's going on around you in your life and just concentrate on things that are completely unrelated, things that take your brain completely away from where you are at the moment. That's true escapism. And movies weren't enough. When my mum died, I couldn't sit and watch a film, I couldn't sit and watch Family Guy, I couldn't sit and watch Neighbours, Coronation. There's no program that was going to take my mind from the negative thoughts that I was thinking. And then came Modern Warfare, Xbox 360, and online play. And for me, the competitive nature of online play, because I didn't play sports as a kid. The only sport I've ever really done is scuba diving, and that is not a competitive based sport. It's a physical sport with a lot of danger element, which is why it's considered a sport. But the competitiveness of beating people and getting beaten and wanting to be as good as X, Y, see someone who was a prestige, and God, I wanted to be a prestige so badly. That's the thing that really pulled me out of the void. It really pulled me out of the hole I was in, and it wasn't the thing that got me to where I am now. No, it's not. I'm not saying if you have a big tragedy, Call of Duty is your answer. No. Call of Duty was one of my answers, and it was my escapism. But I just wanted to, as this came up, this remastering, it just gave me this idea to explain how important this game actually is to me. And it's not because it's a game or because I was really good at it. Because towards the end of this game, I was a beast at it, just like any Call of Duty. But it was because it gave me what I needed at the time. And now that's all I've got time for, guys. If you liked this random talk, and it pretty much, I had COD 4 in my mind and the rest of it was all really off the cuff. If you like this, then let me know in the comments below. If you love COD 4, let me know. Tell me how excited you are for this remastered version in HD on PS4 and Xbox One. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I hope you learned something. See you later, YouTube. Bye.